morning, everybody. It is 8:50 in the morning. I'm impressed that I've stayed in bed this long because I normally am awake on my off days by 8, 7:30. I may not be out of bed till 8, but it is almost 9 and I'm still sitting in bed. For whatever reason, the past week and a half, I've not gone underneath my comforter, but I've slept with 3 different fleece blankets over me, and it's actually been rather comfortable, and I fall asleep really quick, so I've just been doing that. I thought I'd just film a day in the life of me when I'm not at work. I work Monday through Thursday as a dental hygienist at the office I'm currently working at, and we're not open on Fridays. The only time that we would be open is if a patient had an emergency, and that has nothing to do with cleanings. It has anything to do with, like, if a patient has pain, doctor would most likely treat that patient by himself or do something of the sorts to correct their issue. But as far as like normal work and business hours for my practice, it is not Monday through Friday. It is Monday through Thursday. So I thought I'd take you along and show you how I manage my blood sugars, what I have planned today, things like that. Days that I'm off of work, particularly Fridays, I try to do lots of errands, laundry, paying any bills, things like that typical adults do, right? Like, I feel like my life is extremely ordinary and mundane. Like most people, I go to work, get up, and get home, relax, and then start it over again. And then you have your weekends to try to catch up on other things that you didn't get a chance to do during the week, right? So anyways, I'm going to pre-bolus 5 units for breakfast and go from there. Now, I'll kind of discuss maybe a little bit later on that I don't use my pump for big boluses anymore. It just doesn't make sense for me. For whatever reason, I can give myself a gigantic dose in my pump. I think I've talked about this a couple of different times. And I can pre-bolus the exact same length as I would in an injection, and my blood sugar will spike to 300 and it won't come down. If I do the same amount of insulin in an injection and wait the exact same time, my blood sugar, 1, really doesn't spike that high, or 2, it maintains normal levels. So I definitely think that my body responds to receiving insulin via an injection versus the pump. However, I have my pump for small boluses, control IQ, as well as the basal rates. I thought about going back on injections. I tried it over Christmas and Thanksgiving this year, and it just doesn't work with my work schedule. I'm either really, really high or I'm really, really low, and I can't be having those blood sugar numbers consistently working as a healthcare provider. So anyways, with that being said, I'm going to find some breakfast and I'm going to get myself changed and get on with my day.
It's been another hour. I ate breakfast. I had some French toast sticks and some strawberries and a glass of milk. I'll put a picture here. My hair is up in a bun. I didn't cut it off. It's just in a messy bun so that I can brush my teeth and wash my face. And just kind of having a slow start to my Friday. But as soon as I get dressed, I think I'm going to run out and do my errands and things like that and go from there. But I'm sorry if my bathroom lighting is complete garbage. But the lighting in here, especially this light bulb I replaced, or haven't replaced yet, is kind of an older yellow light. But I got a bunch of light bulbs from a company last November, and they were super cheap, but they're really nice and bright, and they're not yellowy and ugly-ish. I don't know. So once that light bulb burns out and I'm able to replace the other one, I think it'll be okay. But I just kind of do what I have here and go from there. But anyways, I thought I'd tell you guys, I've been brushing my teeth my entire life with a regular toothbrush pretty much. I had an electric when I was real little and I didn't like it, but gosh, maybe 4 or 5 months ago, I switched to a Sonicare electric toothbrush and I love it. And last night, I was on the phone with a friend, so I couldn't use my electric toothbrush because I didn't want to be rude, but I wanted to brush my teeth and just go lay in bed, so I used a regular one, and my teeth feel absolutely disgusting now. Not saying that a regular toothbrush doesn't do a good job, because I've obviously used a regular toothbrush my entire life, and I've never really had a lot of buildup, pretty much no buildup. It's more in your technique, but ever since I've started using this Sonicare electric toothbrush, it feels so much different now, and I can't get away from it. Mine has 2 different modes in it. I bought it from Costco for like I think it was 60 bucks, and I got 2 of them. I gave one to a friend and kept the other one, and then you just buy replacement heads when it tells you to replace it. I'll do maybe a video on like regular brushing versus electric, but I highly recommend electric toothbrushes now as a dental hygienist. I just feel like it does a better job of making sure you're brushing for the right time, making sure that you're not putting too much pressure, as well as I think the vibrations allow you to go into the biting surfaces of your teeth super well. So anyways, with that being said, I'm at a very awkward angle to prop my phone up, so that's why I'm half bent over. My actual height is here, but I'm bent over because I can't get to the sink without bending over and then cutting off my entire face if I don't slouch. So anyways, I'm going to brush my teeth and I will get myself dressed.
Y'all, it's almost noon and I'm finally getting started. I'm dressed in a very boring t-shirt and some really cool leggings, but I need to pick up some Dexcom prescriptions from Costco again, and I feel like I did this the last time I chat with you like a year and a half ago in my car video. I kind of rewatched that like maybe a week and a half ago, and I'm kind of laughing because my poor car sounded really sick. There was a lot of stuff going on at the time in that vehicle, but then I fixed it and then never vlogged in it since I've gotten in my car accident. But this is my first like car chat with Maddie in my brand new car. You're gonna see like part of my floss more thing in the mirror because I have a phone prop thing that's a little different. It doesn't sit in the vent register. There's like a little, you probably saw when I did my car tour, there's almost like I'm trying to think of the word, a parallelogram, like a turn, like rectangle kind of sideways kind of spacing on the top part of my vehicle, and that's where I have this phone holder kind of nestled in here, and this is the best spot I can do for vlogging because of all the different electronic components that are in this vehicle. So this is where it's going to be, but I have to do that, and then I thought I'd do some mall walking to get my 10,000 steps for today, as well as I'm going to go eat lunch with some IMS, which is basically an international money system that our boss kind of spoils us with it, and it's basically like gift certificates to certain restaurants, and there's certain restaurants that accept that for payment, and basically I'm going to go get free lunch. And I also need to pick up a brand new kitty litter box for Miss Tinkerbell. So with that being said, we'll jump right into it, and I'll kind of talk to you a little bit about what's going on, I guess, with my life since I updated you guys last. The last videos I would have done would have been a car tour video, so hopefully as I'm talking you're able to hear me pretty well because this car's pretty quiet. I do notice though, you know what's funny, as easy as I am to like hear and understand in real life, when I edit my videos, I have to turn the volume up because I think when I talk to a camera, I get a little soft spoken, and I have to literally crank the audio up so you guys can hear my voice. I don't know if I just get camera shy or if I think because I'm not talking to another person that like I can keep my voice more quiet. So anyways, I guess we'll start the vehicle and go from there. But I've got like a 25 to 30-ish minute drive to get to Costco, which is like a exit and a half before I end up going to my place of work. As far as the location of it and everything, it's a little further east and a little further north of where I work. But you guys kind of get an idea of what I do or how my drive is for work, sort of, in a way anyways. So yeah, we'll get going here and we'll go from there. Let me start off by saying that I'm backing out of my driveway, and it's actually nice to not have to look behind me. My driveway's gravel, so this is why this thing kind of bounces around a little bit. But it's kind of cool to like not worry about like what's behind you. And we have this kind of stray cat that hangs around our house a little bit. I'm kind of looking back and forth. Again, I have a mirror to check. I have to check my surroundings. So again, if I'm not directly looking at you, or it may look like I'm looking at you, I'm probably not. Again, it all just kind of depends upon how the traffic and everything is going, but I have my eyes on the road. Anyways, we have this stray cat and we named her Free, and I went to go back out for some errand out of my garage, and all of a sudden my thing beeped at me that there was a cat in the way. And if it wasn't for this backup camera on my vehicle, I legit would have not known that she was here. So it was kind of crazy for that matter that like, if there was no backup camera and I had my old car, or I was taking my mom's car somewhere, I probably would have rear-ended this cat, and it would have like broke my heart because I'm such a huge animal lover. Dead rodent, speaking of. So yeah, I really enjoy having that. I like having a car right now that has air conditioning because I'm roasting right now. It's 54 degrees here, and being in a black vehicle in the middle of the sun, it's not exactly comfortable in here without an air conditioning, and this car heats up and cools down super quick, so it's another luxury that I never thought that I would experience. And I'm just like, to like drive a brand new vehicle to me just is, it doesn't make sense. Like, I honestly feel like it's just so surreal, but I've had this vehicle for almost 2 months and I've got a pretty big down payment, plus I've already paid a lot more than my minimum on here. So I guess beyond my new car, I got into obviously my car accident in January, and sometimes even still driving a new and safe vehicle, or even just driving in general, I do get paranoid, because I went through an experience that I wish nobody has to go through. So sorry about the little bit of gapage in that video. I turned back around to go home to realize that, hey, Maddie does not have sunglasses, and I can't drive without sunglasses this time of the year now without making my eyes water. I think naturally I've had like sunlight sensitivity, just being like very complected and strawberry blonde hair, but I don't know, I just went and got these sunglasses just to be safe. And it's not like it's super sunny out, but it's enough of a weird kind of white overcast that I need sunglasses. So anyways, as I was saying about my car accident, you know, I still sometimes get paranoid to sit and drive. Sometimes I have to talk myself into getting up in the morning and going and driving because life moves on, right? I went back to work the next day after and got back in a car and drove family vehicles for 9 weeks straight until I got this brand new one. But I could have easily had my life taken away and nobody else was with me at the time, but it's pretty traumatizing to go through something that you know like could have killed you. And there's not a day that goes by that I don't sit and think about, like, you know what, I could have had my life taken away over 3 months ago, and my friends and family are so lucky that I'm here. And it wasn't even because of my driving, it was a terrible situation. And I really hope none of you have to go through what I went through as far as trying to scramble to find a vehicle to take you back and forth to work, or, you know, loan a vehicle from a friend or a family member until you can find one, because the car market's rough. And I hope you never have to go through any of the physical traumatic, stuff that happens with an accident. And now, I'm not saying that there's so much worse that could have happened. I know there are people that go through super duper severe car accidents and are remarkably resilient, but you're shaken up when you get hit. And with the situation I was put in, 95% of the time it results in severe injury and death, just because of what hit me and how and everything that it played out to be. If it was any little different situation, I would not be here. So I guess with that being said, I've basically been driving this vehicle for a month and a half now, almost 2 months, and I got a lot down paid on it, and my goal is to pay it off rather quickly. And I'll kind of, maybe go into more of how I've been paying for it, obviously work, but how I've kind of budgeted myself to where I'm making way more than the minimal payment, and kind of like what I'm cutting back on as far as like spending it this and that on anything like that, because I obviously went from having no car payment to having a car payment. And when you go from no car payment to a car payment, you have to kind of budget yourself around what works and what doesn't. So my minimum car payment's I think it's like $550. I'm doing at least 3 to 4 times that right now a month minimum. Sometimes more, sometimes less, depending on, again, what I get. I'm working for it, honestly. I obviously still have other bills to pay too. I'm an adult. I have to pay everything else that comes with being an adult, but I think it's just how you manage yourself that really makes a difference as to how kind of you go forward with things. So we'll kind of see how that goes from there. Because I had to turn around and go back home, I have to find a different way to get on the highway now. So now that I'm on the highway, I don't have to freak out as much. This car gets pretty good gas mileage once I get it kind of settled into the speed I want. It usually gets 30 to 40 miles to the gallon on the highway. These highways here, you can do 70 miles per hour. I usually set it between 74 and 76. I still need to contact the DMV either by email or phone. I think I'll just email them and kind of wait. I need a front license plate. I was able to transfer my plates from my old vehicle to this one, so I have the back license plate with the registration paid for. The DMV lady that I talked to, she said that I can keep the registration renewal in November again, because that's when I always used to renew my old car every year, was in November, and you get a new sticker for the year. She said because you just renewed that like 4 months ago, there's no reason for you to retitle or re-register this vehicle to run on the roads when you have a license plate that you paid for and you can transfer. The only thing that you're going to need to request is a new front license plate, because obviously you know in the state of Wisconsin that you need to have 2 license plates on a vehicle and have one on the road. Well, I've been driving my car for nearly 2 months without a front license plate, so fingers crossed that I don't get pulled over for that, but I do have obviously proof of like when I've spoken to them and kind of what they told me to go forward with, so it's not like they can really ticket me. I do have my proof of registration and things like that now officially with me. Instead of carrying that piece of paper I got with all my documents I signed, I now have the actual like license registration like piece of paper that I have in my glove box with my proof of insurance and things like that. So that's kind of been fun to deal with a little bit. And I've been taking on more volunteer things through the American Legion Auxiliary, so that's been keeping me busy. I donate a lot of my time to various different things when I'm not working. Obviously I have YouTube here, which again blows my mind. I'm mind blown that I'm only 70 subscribers from 3,000 subscribers. Like, it doesn't make sense to me that it would have been this quick of an explosion that my channel would have had, and it still doesn't register with me some days that I've got that many people that are dedicated to this channel and want to see more from me because they hit that subscribe button. So I'm going to continue this channel no matter where my life takes me and no matter what comes up. And I'm trying different video ideas as you guys are trying to see more beyond me than just diabetes. Not that I don't want to do diabetes related content, because I've done a lot recently, but I want to show more than just that. I think YouTube is a fun way to kind of express memories and kind of have memories in like a scrapbook, basically, in a video format. It's the same as anybody who takes tons of pictures and scrapbooks, which I love doing that too. I actually do that for fun. Go through old pictures of me when I was really little and things like that. But to me, YouTube is like a montage of my life, and it's funny, I watch my old videos and I say to myself, wow, look how much you've grown as far as how you've presented your videos, to what you felt comfortable sharing, to how you have found a way to engage with other people from various walks of life. Like, that was my whole goal of this channel, was to not do this for attention and not do this for money or do this for fame and fortune. I'm doing this simply to just maybe me talking and opening about being a little bit paranoid to drive in a vehicle, or saying something like, okay, I got in a car accident, but you want to know something? I'm moving forward with it, and this is how I handled it. Maybe that's going to help somebody down the road that maybe is going through a similar situation, and they can look back and say, this is how it was handled with me, and maybe I can make it a little bit different. Or maybe I can go about handling it like she did, or things like that. And I actually watch other people and interact with other people on YouTube as well, because the funny thing is when you interact with other people and get to know other people, you can learn more from other people too. Like, I'm not just sitting here giving advice, I'm getting it, like, you have to give in order to receive. And I wholeheartedly believe that doing that leads to success in life. I think it leads to blessings upon blessings, because I'm going to tell you something, I've not been nothing but blessed in my life. Actually, diabetes has been a blessing for me, because there's not a day that goes by that I don't think about taking care of myself now. There's not a day that goes by that I don't thank my God for saving my life and allowing me multiple opportunities to stay alive here and continue to do what I do. And there's been too many times where it could have resulted in me going to meet my maker, and it's only increased my faith and increased my vulnerability for the way I live my life, right? Like, I'm sharing a lot of very vulnerable things on here. Not every single detail of my life will you know, and that should be that. Like, I'm not going to share everything, but I've definitely felt more comfortable sharing more of the vulnerable sides, especially of living with diabetes, that most people would not share comfortably. And I will tell you exactly how much I purchased my Dexcoms for today, just to let you know, like, this isn't a cheap disease to live with. Like, nobody, I mean, I understand there's a cost of things, but it's pretty sad what I have to pay every 3 months to get Dexcoms on my arm. But I'm going to try to run it through my insurance now that I'm out of college. I've been using Costco as my Dexcom provider and paying like out-of-pocket cash since 2019. I haven't run it through my insurance since I basically got the Dexcoms in late 2018. So I've had Dexcom for almost 4 years. And the first like few months I ran it through my insurance because they would cover it as a pharmaceutical. Well, my insurance now covers it as DME, but at the time they were forcing me to go through a bunch of different third-party suppliers that were going to charge me more expensively than Costco did. And I was able to restart my sensors pretty easily at the time and get really good results and things like that in college to kind of try to save a little bit. I no longer restart sensors because I can't afford to have inaccurate blood sugar readings, and I've been getting a lot of like rashes and almost skin dermatitis from leaving Dexcoms on for too long. And it's not like I don't clean my body in a shower or anything like that, or I don't, clean my skin off before I put the Dexcom on, but I'm getting too many like borderline what could turn into an infection type thing, and it's like it's not healthy for my skin to have that almost allergic type reaction to the Dexcoms. So I basically said, okay, I'm not going to restart sensors anymore, but I still have extras to handle and things like that in case I need them, which is nice, and I have a little backup supply. But now that I'm working and I run my pump supplies through my insurance, and I have been because they've been, decent as a DME, I'm 99.9% sure that I can run my Dexcoms through the same exact third-party supplier, but I need to talk to my endocrinologist, and I would rather put it towards my deductible and then meet that deductible quicker, so that I can pay significantly less. Once I meet my deductible, I believe it's an 80-20 type ratio. 80% the insurance covers, 20% I pay out of pocket for the remainder of the calendar year. So it's been nice that I've had consistent insurance for like 3 years through a parent, but I know at any point that stuff can change, and it's just kind of, again, another nightmare that like one insurance company does not treat somebody the same as another. And some insurances are better at covering things than others, and at the time my insurance was not giving me good coverage on the Dexcom. They were considering it more of a luxury and less of a necessity, but now I think I can get it for, even if it's only like, to me, $300 or $400 cheaper every 3 months. To me, that's saving money. Like, why would I dump out X amount of dollars when I can dump out $300 minus that? So I'm hoping this will be the last time I have to go to Costco for that. And I only got the Costco membership to basically use that, get my Dexcoms that way, but I'll still keep my Costco membership and renew it every year because I honestly like Costco. I need some paper toweling there as well. So fingers crossed as I move forward with that it works out pretty smoothly. So I guess lots of changes coming my way. So I pretty much just ranted about my car and diabetes. I guess I'll kind of touch a little bit. Last month we lost our 18-year-old cat. He had died at home. You've probably seen Sam in a few videos. He would come in, like some videos, I also did a video on him quite a long time ago, and he passed away from just natural old age causes at home, and it was an emotional wreck of a week to watch him go. But I'm thankful he went rather quickly and he was able to die peacefully at home. So I'm hoping maybe I'll make a little memory montage for him on YouTube, because I've had a lot of really good pictures over the years, and I still have a heavy heart over it some days because it's so weird to not have him there. Tinkerbell and Susie are definitely not very happy. Tinkerbell seems to be kind of depressed that he's gone. She keeps sitting on the spot that he used to sit at on one of our couches. There's one really old couch in my living room, it's gonna go now at this point because it only brings back memories of our cat. So we're gonna get rid of that, but she sits in the same spot he sits in, and she just kind of looks sad. So it's definitely been probably harder on the animals than more so us humans, but I still, like, a piece of me went to heaven with him that day because Sam has been a part of my life since I've been in kindergarten. He's been with me since I was 6, and I'm almost 24. So to have a cat be a part of your life for 18, he was just shy of 18, so he was a really old cat. He made a long life. So to lose something that's been a part of my entire, pretty much good portion of my entire existence is really difficult. So this year has brought a couple of negatives, but a couple of really good positives. And I mean, for the most part, then the positives will always outweigh my negatives. But I think it's how you handle the negatives that make the positives even better, because at the point when you're ready to cave in or you're ready to give up, like, you know that there's so much more that you want to go for, and you know that bigger and better things are coming. There's always a silver lining to everything, right? So that's kind of how I've been trying to perceive things as I move forward. I've had a lot of things happen to me at work too. Like you guys know, I got poked 6 months ago or 8 months ago. I had to get tested for bloodborne diseases that could have resulted in something not fun to deal with, but I ended up making it through with all negative results again, so that was good. But again, it's how you handle yourself, and I wouldn't give up my job because there was a work-related injury, and I was cautious too, but things happen like that, and I think you're given a lot of different things in your life to see how you handle them, a lot of, negative versus positive, and I think what makes a person is how they handle the negative. So if you're going forward and trying to take that silver lining out of the negative thing that happened to you, by all means go for it. Like, I know, as cliche as it sounds, like I got in a car accident again, I'll pinpoint back to something that happened recent, but I have my life and I have a brand new car now. Like, I needed to do something with my old car at some point, just because I knew that it wasn't going to be much longer before I was going to have to give it up, because it had no air conditioning. There was a bunch of other things just starting to fail, and who knows if that was like God's push to say, like, get something safer and reliable and something that you're going to work for that you can have and not worry about it. So I guess I'll take that as a blessing. Yeah, other than that, nothing else really too big with me, I guess. I still make videos, I still work full time. Last week I went to a pet expo, which was really cool, with a friend, and caught up and ate dinner with her. I spoke with another friend on the phone last night for like 3 hours. It was like, holy cow. You know what's funny? I don't think I ever told you guys the actual date. It's April 29th, and I told you it was a Friday, but I don't know. I'm going to try to get my videos up sooner. I've been having really good luck with my internet, so fingers crossed that continues. Knock on my head that it continues to work. So anyways, it is April 29th, 2022. We're almost to May, and hoping that the weather continues to stay nice and decent and warm, and go from there. We've had some pretty cold weather for April as of recent, but I think we're starting to get a turning point now. It's now 57 degrees down here in this city, so I'm approximately 10 minutes from Costco. So once I get there, I guess I'll go in and pick up those things and go to the mall, go walking, and get some lunch and treat myself. So yeah, I guess another thing I've learned over the years too is just like treat yourself, take care of yourself, because I'm definitely one of these people that will put somebody else's needs before my own, even if it means I give up something so that they can have something. So as I've been working as an RDH for almost a year, again, that's crazy that's the case for me. I've been trying to tell myself, like, okay, if you want to treat yourself to something, go for it. Do I do it all the time? No, but I used to definitely deprive myself of like buying myself X, Y, and Z, because I knew in my heart I'd rather give that to somebody else. Like, I'm the kind of person that would do that for somebody else versus myself, right? Like, that's just how I am. So for a while I kind of felt guilty of buying this vehicle. Like, I was like, okay, like, I could just get another old car again and go from there. But then I'm like, well, I guess you're working for it, so what does it really matter? Like, and that's another thing I am too. For my age, like, I've always had a job. I had a job I had a job in high school. I've always done like work, various degrees of work. Holy traffic jam. Various degrees of work throughout since age 15. And I've always earned my way for my old vehicle. I've earned my own way for anything that I've wanted and got in my life. So another thing that just irritates me is like people who just get things handed to them for no apparent reason. You know, like, yeah, if you're a child, you're obviously dependent on your parents, but when I wanted certain things growing up, I worked for it. And I still work for it as a young adult. Like, I got a brand new car. No one's paying for this brand new car. I'm paying for this brand new car. It is mine. I didn't have to co-sign with anybody. It is solely my responsibility to make the payments. And if I don't make the payments, guess what's coming back on me is the car's going to be repossessed. So, I've always been about, you know, give what you can to other people and work hard for what you want. And that's how I'm always going to be. I think since COVID, I think there's been a lot of people that have just tried to get away with more of having other people provide for them and take advantage of other people and get anything they can for X, Y, and Z for free. Well, there's nothing really free in life, because if you're getting things from X, Y, and Z or handouts from somebody, somebody's paying for that. Somebody is working for that income to help or give to somebody else, right? Like, so what I'm trying to say is, I understand if there's situations where you need that kind of help, but what I'm also trying to tell you is, if anybody's helping you right now in a situation that you're stuck in, or whatever, if you're financially getting help, emotional, physical help, whatever you know, whatever type of help you need around in your life, thank the person or persons who are helping you, because don't let anything slide, and don't take anything that you get for granted. You know, if somebody like buys me a cup of coffee, or, you know, like I've had it too, where I've been in a line in a drive-thru and somebody's bought my meal for me. Like, I turn around and go and do the same thing back for somebody else. Or I think of a lot of my friends and family, and I don't forget their birthdays. I don't forget some big event that came up in their life, and I support them for it, or let them know that I care. Like, you know, I think since COVID, this world has gotten a little bit meaner, in that people aren't as caring of who's around them more than anything. People have become really selfish, and I'm just being honest with you. This is how I'm seeing it. Is it true that everybody is that way? No, but what I'm saying is that I'm seeing a lot more of that. I'm seeing a lot more people being more, I guess, not, you know, helpful to others, and more so I want to just do what's best for me and nothing else, and not realizing that we live in a world where everybody deserves to prosper. Everybody deserves to be treated kindly, and, you know, don't just, you know, do good for yourself, but do good for other people. Like, that's kind of how I am, right? Like, that's how God says, you're a Christian, you're going to go help others. Like, you know, you're going to know you're Christians by your love, and that I'm the kind of person that gives and shares my love to anybody I have in my life. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been seeing too as I've gone forward, working, not only necessarily working, but as this COVID pandemic has been around for a couple of years now. So I'm stuck behind a cement truck, and I don't want to pass them because there's about 30,000 people passing me right now, and my exit's coming up really shortly. So I'm doing 50 miles an hour on a 65 mile highway, which is fine. I've got enough space between me and him, but there's just too many people who are nuts. And like I said, my exit was less than a mile, and I just don't want to go around him and then slow down in front of him and then exit. I'm not that kind of person that just does that. I try to be smart with how I'm driving, and I'm really in no hurry, so it doesn't matter. I've got about 3 people who are on my butt right now, probably thinking the same thing, which is fine, but I get a little nervous when I get people too close to my butt, because I slam on the brakes and they're not paying attention. I'm going to get rear-ended, and I don't want my new car to get in a wreck. So that's been my life. I don't understand how you guys like me to just sit and rant in a car. I don't mentioned backtracking. I'm almost at 3,000 subscribers. I want y'all, before I forget about this, I want you all to let me know if there's anything you want me to do to celebrate that. I know I've done various things in the past with Q&As. I've done several giveaways. I haven't gone live in a long time. Maybe I should go live again. I think that would be kind of fun. Now that I have a much larger subscriber audience. But then that gets tricky too, because everybody's in various time zones, because I know I get various people from not only the United States, but various people who live around the world that watch me. So like if I go live at 6 o'clock at night, my time, it's probably going to be like midnight in England, right? Like, so I don't really know how to work around that. Like, so if that's something you guys want me to do, like, yeah, I'm all for it. Or if you guys have any other suggestions, if you want another Q&A, or like you guys ask any other questions you want to know about me, or do you want, another giveaway? I did a pretty large one for 2,000 subscribers. So if you want that again, like if you want more like a mix of diabetes and non-diabetes things, or if you guys like want me to do more of my shirts or something, like, I don't know. I did that kind of as an experiment a little bit, and I kind of like it. So maybe going forward, we'll go through with that. But, oh, another Volkswagen's in front of me. How fun. A different model. It's an Atlas. So, or if you have any other different suggestions that you think would be fun for 3,000 subscribers, just let me know, because I'm open to pretty much anything. Obviously, there will be certain things that, like, if you ask, like, say for a Q&A and some of the questions get extremely personal, like, I'm not going to share those, like, with you necessarily. Or I may touch on them not as deeply as what is actually happening, because again, I'm not going to share every living detail of my life with every person who's watching this video. So I've got 2 more roundabouts here, and then I'm going to be at Costco. So I'm curious what their gas prices is. I have a half a tank, and I still have 190 miles still empty, which blows my mind how good gas mileage this vehicle gets. But maybe I'll fill up here if it's super significantly cheaper. So, but there's a huge line for people to get gas here, and that's kind of crazy. It's $3.73. It's like $3.80 something up by me. So I honestly don't even know if it's really worth the 10 cents. I always automatically get 5 cents off because I normally go to a Shell. Shell gas station for gas, so I don't really necessarily think getting gas here is going to be worth my while, but so we'll see here. I'll park again, because of the way my little camera prop is positioned, it isn't going to show me the best view of anything. So yay. Anyways, I'm going to stop my engine. I made it here. I'm going to pop in and grab my prescriptions and some paper towel, and then I'm gonna go mall walk. $1,046.76 later, I have my Dexcoms. So yeah, they're not cheap, and bless this tech's heart, because I've been like seeing him for the longest time. He's like, I know I have to say this like every time, but are you aware that these cost a lot of money, And I'm like, yeah. I said, I've been coming here for a while, and he was like telling me like how incredibly sad it is that, like insulin and things like that are not, often very reasonable for many people. So I'll count my blessings I can pay for it, because there's a lot of people that don't have insurance, or in the case of me, like not running my Dexcoms through my insurance, that can't afford these types of supplies. So to me, it's a sad world when it comes to this kind of stuff. But anyways, I have my Dexcoms, yeehaw, for another 3 months, and I have paper toweling, and I'm gonna go to the mall and walk some steps, and then I'm gonna go eat lunch, so that'll be good, and then pick up a couple things and head home, and then maybe, I don't know, I gotta, like I said, talk to the DMV and see what else I can do about it. But anyways, my mom, who works at a grocery store, picked up these Recover 180 waters, and they're really good. This one is the strawberry lemon, and there's 1 carb, no added sugars, and it's pretty much just a bunch of electrolytes. I don't know if you guys can see that. But they're really good. The other one that I had was like a weird watermelon berry, and it was good, but it was kind of like left that sour, really sour aftertaste in your mouth. I'll put a picture here. It's got like a green bottle, but she paid like $2.98 for these. So if I end up in a grocery store at some point down here, maybe I'll have to try to see if I can find these a little bit cheaper. I don't need groceries for a while. I went grocery shopping last week. I try to just eat what I have at home, or like use like gift certificates that I've gotten and things like that to try to like cut back on food. But anyways, I'm not like a big, like, I love food, but during the week I definitely don't eat as much food as I normally do. But from my breakfast today, I kind of spiked a little, but now I'm back down. I spiked to like 180. Now I'm back down to like 160. My Dexcom's been acting kind of funny. It's getting to be an old sensor. I just have my butterfly one on here, and I'm going to talk a little bit about different over patches and what I think works best. But the funny thing is like, this is the lightest colored over patch for this butterfly, and you guys can tell I'm not that dark. So even the lightest skin colored over patches are darker than me. But anyways, I'm going to talk in another video about how I use over patches, as well as I'm going to dive into maybe more of the financial side of diabetes for those of you who are curious. Like I said, I'm trying to come up with various different ideas that I haven't talked about yet. And actually the whole like over patches thing, and like how do I keep my Dexcoms and my pumps on when I get sweaty or active. A lot of people have asked like how I do that somewhat successfully, and somebody asked that question like 2 years ago in a comment, and I just happened to reread it, so I'm kind of like, well, I think maybe we should address that now. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and drive to the mall, and then I will catch up with you guys there. Hey y'all, I made it to the mall. Gosh, my hair looks funny. Anyways, I'm gonna go walk, and I usually don't do much when I walk in the mall other than put earbuds in and walk laps to get my remaining steps. I think I have like 8,000 left, so it'll be several walks, but a lot of people do that during the week and stuff like that. But anyways, I'm gonna go do that, and then for lunch I'll go ahead and catch up with you then. But I'll put my 24-hour graph of my blood sugars in here, considering this is also like, obviously it could be a diabetes day, like, I guess, in a way. So we'll go from there. Hey y'all, what's good? I'm back in my car. I'm like 400 steps shy of 10,000. It's good enough. I'll have the rest of it done later. But as I'm walking in the mall, I noticed that I had like this little cut on my hand that decided to bleed. So I went to the bathroom, yay me, and took care of that. And then I'm like, oh no. Well, not really oh no, but Mother's Day is coming up, and I have my mom her gift, part of her gift, but I didn't get her a card to go with it. So I picked up this really pretty Mother's Day card that literally has like butterflies and flowers on it, because I'm like, you know, I have to get this card because it's me, right? So I bought her that, and now I'm headed to go get lunch. It is almost 3 o'clock in the afternoon. The mall was filled with a lot of different people, but there was two people that actually stood out to me today, though. First of all, as I was walking around, there was this little girl who I noticed had a infusion set on her body, a little pink infusion set. So I'm like, rock on, little type 1 diabetic. So that was pretty cool. And then another thing that I kind of noticed that I was like a little bit, I don't want to say weirded out, but it kind of concerns me knowing that like I don't pierce my body. There was two people, I don't know if it was like sisters or whatever, but there was a little maybe 3-month-old baby that was getting her ears pierced. And I personally don't agree with piercing children's ears when they're that little and they can't make that decision for themselves. And I also don't agree with it because then you as the parent are responsible for cleaning out that, you know, the puncture hole, and if it gets infected and things like that. Like, if you're gonna get your ears pierced, like, wait till, or have your child want to get their ears pierced, like, let them make that decision for themselves. As well as, I don't agree with doing it that little when they can't tell you yes or no, and then you're responsible for taking care of it. So I don't know, it just seemed weird. It just seemed rather odd. Like, not that, you know what, you do you, I would never ever like call somebody out on for it, but it just to me doesn't seem like something that doesn't sit right with me, especially when that baby is really little and like, you know, the baby's gonna have pain and not probably know what the pain's coming from. You know what I mean? Anyways, that's how my mall walking went. There's a lot of people coming here now. I mean, I swear, like, Fridays, if everybody works like 4 days like I do, I swear it's like Fridays everybody's day off. But not the case for a lot of people. A lot of people work Monday through Friday, shorter hours. But I'm gonna head to Moe's Southwestern Grill. It's basically like fast-ish Mexican food, but it's really, really good, and they take the IMS certificates. And then I'm gonna go find a litter box for Tinkerbell. This has turned into a long, drawn-out day, but you know what? I'm kind of enjoying myself because I feel like I have nothing to worry about. I can take a deep breath and just try to enjoy myself. So I'm taking myself on a date. I like that. So I'm going to drive down the road and get my food, and we will go from there. I'm kind of feeling a little funny. I'm low, so I felt funny in the Hallmark store, so I'm kind of like, you know, like what's going on, not realizing that my blood sugar was low. So I ignored a low for a good hour. Now I took care of it, and I'm headed back up. It was like mid 50s. Now I'm like 60s. So actually like 68. I wouldn't drive if I was lower than, like, if I wasn't heading up. So anyways, I will get back to you guys after. I know this video is probably very odd and choppy, but we'll go from there and just kind of show you how the rest of my day goes. Awesome. I am really, really full. Excuse me. That was a weird cough. But as I'm looking at the restaurant, to the left of me, there's a Buffalo Wild Wings. And I'm like, I have a $20 gift card to Buffalo Wild Wings for my birthday I haven't even spent yet. So I guess I'll be coming down in this little area more often. But anyways, Moe's is really good. Like, I have those gift certificates I said that I have to use, and I still got like tons to use yet. You can use them at certain places. I think I paid like $14.96 for my huge burrito and some chips and queso. Like, oh my gosh, so good. Anyways, I'll show you a picture here, but you can kind of put whatever you want in the burrito. You can do the burrito bowl without an actual burrito, and it's just like, it's just so good because it's filling and it's a lot of protein and veggie. Like, it's not like, I feel like it's a little bit more like of a nicer, fancier version of Taco Bell, but Taco Bell messes with my digestive system quite a bit. Like, I don't hate Taco Bell. However, I don't like the end result of Taco Bell if I go there. So I usually try to avoid Taco Bell. This doesn't give me any issues. There's another local Mexican restaurant here that it's a little bit even higher up than that, and I actually like them even more. But for, like, to have a Southwest Grill, like, fast food-ish type chain here, and you have good customer service, it's great. Apparently there's only like 690 stores or 690 Moe's chains located around the United States, and I'm lucky enough to have one pretty close to home, so I'm kind of happy about that. Apparently they also do mobile orders, so I'm kind of excited. Like, I can actually do like a mobile pickup order and come here and get food, and I'm full. Anyways, the only downfall to using those gift certificates is it's in $10 increments. So I had to give them 20, and I just let them, you keep it. You can't exchange cash for any of their certificates. It's whatever you give, you get. They can't, what's the term? You can't get reimbursed cash for the certificates. Anyways, I'm off to either Walmart or Petco to find Tinkerbell a litter box, and then I'm done for the day. It's almost 4 o'clock. Again, I kind of just took myself on a date and just had it today, and I'm actually kind of able to relax a little. Like, I feel like I can breathe. I paid some bills this morning. I'm gonna go home and wash some sheets and do some laundry and work on the remaining things I need to do online. Like, I actually also got a email notification for, what's the term? Gosh, why can't I think of it? So I have to, well, don't have to, but I choose to buy liability insurance as a dental hygienist because it could be a situation where somebody tries to pin or take my license away because I did X, Y, and Z. anything that happens with the patient, I document. And I think I'm going to make videos going forward regarding how what I've really learned my first year being a registered dental hygienist, licensed on my own, and I went through some really kind of unexpected, crazy experiences being a dental hygienist my first year, like getting poked at work. An instrument tip did break off in somebody's mouth while I was working, and I was never trained in how to handle that situation in school. But the funny thing is I handled the situation pretty professionally, and that's the protocol. I kind of looked it up after. Again, I'm gonna have to put sunglasses on because otherwise I'm not gonna be able to see. And again, I may not. Ooh, somebody's having a yard sale. Anyways, I'm not gonna be able to look directly at the camera because of the traffic. So I kind of want to talk more about that, how I went forward with that situation and different situations that I've learned about. But I buy liability to protect me from a patient who might say, oh, I broke HIPAA, I was violating HIPAA protocol or infection protocol or something, when you can prove that you didn't. Anything that happens between me and a patient, no matter what it is, positive or negative, is documented. I had to adjust my camera angle because it was kind of looking in a different direction. So if a patient says something goofy or out of the ordinary to me regarding X, Y, and Z about their oral health, or something, they say something to me that kind of off-puts me a little bit or degrades me, maybe, possibly. I've never really had too many that were like that. But you know what I mean? Get like something really strange or odd that isn't quite of norm, that is documented. I also document things like there are people that I just know that don't like conversation in the dental chair. Great. I put a note. Don't talk to the patient much. Fine by me. You know what? I'll get you in and get you out and see you. I don't care. It's your time, but it's also my time. So I'll document things as well, like say a patient comes in and they have headphones in. I had that happen with a patient when I first met this patient. She wasn't a mean patient, but I found it very disrespectful that I had a hard time communicating with her, because I do have to ask you as the patient some questions regarding your oral hygiene. If you have any dental concerns, anything you want me or doctor to address, like, I'm here to help you. And when you're fully engaged in something else, you're in my opinion, you're wasting my time as a professional, and you're wasting my boss's time as a dentist. Like, I really just think that that's how it is. But the second time I saw this I put a note like, a patient was blah, blah, blah. I had a hard time communicating with her. However, patient was, polite and courteous. So then the following time, funny thing is, she didn't come with headphones in. So sometimes patients will just do weird things like that. And it's not because I don't document those things because I hate you as a patient. I document those things so I'm well prepared to kind of cater to your needs a little bit more. I have some patients that do have some special need requirements as far as like, what's the term? Like how I position the chair, or, if they have a certain medical condition that I need to be aware of, like diabetes. I'm very cautious with my diabetic patients. Are they feeling low? Or are they feeling high? When was the last time that they ate? I've had patients who have had various other diseases as well. Like I said, I can't go into details about, X and X name and stuff like that because that's breaking HIPAA. But I have to protect myself. I protect myself in my clinical notes as well as I protect myself with liability insurance. So I got an email this afternoon. I'll probably pay that next week once I get my paycheck. It's only like $90 a year through Liberty Mutual, and because I'm a member of the Wisconsin American Dental Hygienists Association, it's only $90. If you're a non-member or you just buy it out of the blue, it's like $125 to $130 a year. So I bought this in July, and they gave me a 90-day notification, which makes sense. It's April now. We're 3 months away from July, that this liability insurance is going to expire and that I can renew it. So I'm going to probably just renew it right away, pay it. It was a $90 to me for a whole entire year of liability insurance is worth it. So worth it. Like, you just don't know what people are going to do or what people are going to try to do. And that's why I can't emphasize it enough to document things. Take really, really good clinical notes. Everything that you did with that patient to everything you said. Now I can't document every if, and, or but that we talk about. But, things that stand out to me or things that might make a difference in how I prepare myself for the patient the following time. And also basic things as a dental hygienist. If this patient has heavier buildup, I'm going to make a note like, I used the ultrasonic. I want to use it again next time. Or maybe, you know, a patient's having a hard time with a certain dental product, or maybe they're having sensitivity on their teeth. I might say, I'm going to recommend this product to you, and, you know, I want you to tell me next time if it's making a difference. And if it's not making a difference, I want to try to see if I can find another solution for them. Or maybe as a reminder to me, does my boss know anything more than I do? I mean, he's a dentist. He's going to know more information regarding things. He's been in the field longer. He's went to dental school. So it's not because we necessarily want to nitpick at you. We're doing it because we want to give you the best possible care. So I'm stuck in a lot of traffic right now, so that is why it kind of looks like I'm looking at you, even though I'm not. Or I'm maybe sort of looking like I'm making a little more face-to-face interaction with you guys, which is kind of nice. But I think I'm going to take the back way to Walmart, because if I get up on the highway and then try to hop over to if I do take the highway and go up, it's going to be probably 5 minutes quicker. But it really is not worth it to me, because I literally would merge onto the highway and then merge off within a half a mile. Like, to me, it's not worth it. So I'll just kind of snake and do these back roads here. So yeah, I have to renew the liability insurance. I got an email on that. My mom's gift that I bought for her for Mother's Day is going to be coming soon. I should check the status on that. I found this on TikTok, and this is hilarious. So, I was going through TikTok, and there was this ad for this website called tsequin.com. And I kind of looked at tsequin.com, and it's a customizable place where you can get like a t-shirt with a heart, and it sequins back and forth of a picture of like what you put on it. So I put a picture of our cat Sam on there, and I ordered it for her and made the heart part red, the shirt black. You can like customize it to different things. And I was like, oh my God, my mom's gonna love this, because her and Sam were like this. And she really misses him, so I figured that would be a nice little surprise for her, as well as she's looking for a specific flower type bouquet, not a bouquet, but like a wild, what am I thinking, like flowers you buy from like a flower store, but the hanging basket things that you can hang on your porch, right? Okay. She wants one of those annual type flowers to hang outside for the summer and the spring, so I'll go buy her one of those as well, and then her card. So that's kind of what she wants. And then she also kind of told me today before I left, she's like, I'm going to be selfish and I want one more thing for Mother's Day. And I'm like, what do you want for Mother's Day? I don't really care. She goes, can we go to Old Navy or Maurice's, and I need some jeans. I'm like, okay. So apparently I'm also going to get her a pair of jeans, a couple of pairs of jeans, mind you. So that'll be interesting. I don't know when I'm going to be able to take her next time. She doesn't work tomorrow, I don't think. Maybe I could just take her tomorrow, but I don't know if she's got anything planned. I really don't have anything planned. I kind of go with the flow with the weekends. There are some things that I regularly do, like errands, laundry, pay bills, cleaning my house, doing my 10,000 steps. Like, that's a daily thing no matter what. But I do those types of things on weekends. I don't try to make too many plans, if you know what I mean. Like, I try to be flexible because I just don't know what's going on with certain things. Like, I went to a pet expo. I might plan like things with friends later on down the road, or events and things like that. But I don't go out and do concerts and things like that. I'd love to go to a concert, but like, I don't do anything like over the top all the time. Like, some people have to constantly be going to X, Y, and Z, or doing X, Y, and Z. No, I'm kind of this basic girl that just kind of goes with the flow. And I'm actually kind of nice. I took Fridays. Normally I sit and I clean my entire house, and I get kind of stressed out with Friday. But today I just took the time to decompress. So, that's pretty nice to just sit and, you know, like, I spent this day out here in this bigger city by myself, just kind of eating and going to the mall and, you know, enjoying myself. Now I kind of want to I should have brought some floss, because I got a piece of food stuck between my teeth and it's driving me crazy. That's another thing I started doing since being a dental hygienist, is I now floss 2 to 3 times a day. I can't stand anything in between my teeth. I don't know if I have a piece of chicken or I have a piece of like mushroom caught between my 2 of my front teeth on the top, where there's kind of a slight gap. It's not like noticeable, but my 2 front teeth on the top, the way that they're shaped when they gave me the braces, like the teeth are shaped kind of at an odd angle. So unless I want to get like veneers or like do extra custom like work to my teeth, I don't feel like doing that. They're always going to be like this kind of a weird gap like at the bottom, and I feel like it's caught between that. Either that or it's caught between the two teeth, that one of the front teeth and then one of the teeth to the next to the front tooth, called the lateral incisor. So I don't know exactly where it is, because my tongue keeps going to it and it's driving me absolutely crazy. I hope I didn't make a bad decision to come by a high school this time of the day, but doesn't seem to be too many traffic. Oh, I think this high school gets out earlier than 4. Well, it's 4 o'clock, I guess, but for whatever reason, I was thinking it was like more like 3:45 right now, or like 3:30, but obviously it's not. So it just hit 4 o'clock, but I'm kind of thinking like, okay, am I gonna run into just like a bunch of like school buses or something back here? But so far so good. I'm not very far now from Walmart. Do I have any other packages coming beyond my mom's thing? Sometimes it's kind of hard, I feel like, to keep track of all my packages. So I used to like make a list of things that I'd order, but now that I pretty much order from Amazon, I really don't have to worry. Like, Amazon's gonna give me a list of like, okay, what's coming and what's not. So I guess I really, unless it's like some sort of, like company that's non-Amazon, then I'll write it down and then like keep it, because I get so many emails, but I keep up on them. Sometimes I go through my emails so fast that I delete emails that say, oh, confirmed shipping for X and X gift or X and X thing, and I'm like, and then they get this package on my door, and I'm like, oh, when did I order that? And then I'll see the date of order or something like that. Then I'm like, oh yeah, never mind. This is when you ordered that. Kind of funny. So they need to really repair these streets. They are like, you can hear like ba-bump. I think at the beginning of this vlog, excuse me, I was still in my town, like the outskirts of my town that I live in, and the roads, the back roads there are ba-bum, 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 ba-bum. So it's like, I felt like I was kind of bouncing up and down with you guys, but this car handles all the bumps of roads pretty well. So there's a speed bump here now, so you're gonna feel one. There you go. Apparently there's just too many people here that like to speed through intersections, so they feel the need to put these speed bumps in, and then I worry about like ruining my car, but I don't know what to tell you. So yeah, let me see if I can find a decent parking spot here at Walmart. Not too bad. It's all angle parking, so I don't mind doing a little bit of a walk, because my blood sugar is like 150 now from all the food, so maybe I can walk off some of my Mo's and not have it get me too high. So anywho, I'm going into Walmart to look for a cat litter box, so wish me luck. So you now have more of a horizontal view of my car now. I just stopped at a gas station to pick up one more thing my mom wanted from there, but I ended up buying my bubblers again. I have not tried the blood orange mango, so I'm kind of excited to try that one. And I also, of course, when I was in Walmart, I was standing in line for way too long, so I bought a $1.50 bag of peanut M&Ms. My blood sugar right now is like 160, so it's not too bad considering all the food I ate, but I feel like I'm gonna pay for it later. I only had like a few of these because if I eat the whole bag, it's like 50 carbs. I have a few of them, it's like at least 10 to 15 carbs. So we'll just kind of keep an eye on everything. I took my Flossmore thing down here because otherwise it would be right in the center of my face, and that would be really terrible instead of it partially swaying in and out. My phone was vertical before. My phone was almost dead, and I was almost kind of heartbroken that I wasn't going to be able to vlog the rest of my drive home, but I can, because there's a spot on this holder that I bought for my car, and it allows you to have your phone charger come out, but in order for me to have it come out and not have it bump the plastic part of my vehicle and bend the cable inside my cord, I turned it sideways. So hopefully this works, and I guess I'll head home. I've got just under half a tank of gas, so I'll get some gas probably tomorrow or Sunday. 150 miles to empty, or 160. It blows my mind how good of gas mileage this car has. That is actually really good. I'm impressed. I normally like the blue one, and then I also like, there's like a pink one. I think this is the one I've had before. Twisted Elixir. I think this one's good too. Anyways, it's kind of like my caffeine boost. Anywho, I guess we'll drive home now and see what else is going on, but whatever reason, there's some sort of gas spill at this gas station, so I literally had to drive and park over here instead of over there just due to that. They had like cones out and everything, like they completely busted out all the cones and blocked off everything, so it's kind of been weird to see, but I have all my errands done for today. Like I said, I'm gonna try to do some more things when I get home, but like I've had a long enough day out. I've been out almost like 4 or 5 hours, and that's enough for me to be out doing errands. But I got my 10,000 steps. I think I'm at 10,600 now, so we'll see how many more I can accrue. I take my Apple Watch off at night. I have to charge it somehow, and I often forget to set it on a charger. Anyways, I forget often to put my Apple Watch on a charger or my pump on a charger when I'm showering. So often now I actually will charge my pump in my car when I'm on my way to work. As you probably saw in my car tour video, I showed you I have a pump cord and I have my phone cord in here, so I can plug it in and let them charge. Excuse me, it's 61 out. I went without a coat all day, but this car, I have the air conditioning on right now, like at a 1, just to kind of cool me down a little bit. That's another thing that feels surreal to me to be in this car, is like I have a car that actually has air conditioning. You bet. Anyways, I'll eventually get a arrow to turn left here and go. I also realized I didn't shut off the auto off start feature. I forgot to turn it back on. I usually don't, like if I need to sit for a minute in my car and like cool myself down, I'll shut that off, because otherwise it'll end up shutting it off. So it's just kind of weird. So I guess I can activate it now. So now that I have that activated, again, this video is probably going to be a little bit choppy, because I'm going to have to edit out parts where like, sometimes this phone holder, like my phone hasn't fallen out, but it'll like slide around if I hit any type of really bad road that's like not perfectly smooth, or it needs a lot of road construction to take care of it or repair. So if I hit any of those lumps and bumps, it's gonna like jostle my phone around, so I'm so sorry for that. There's my car shutting off, and then as soon as you hit the gas again or you let off the brake, it'll resume. It's just an auto on-off feature. I think a lot of vehicles have it. I know you can deactivate. I deactivate it when the weather's bad for me. I thought we talked about it in my car tour, but I really like it. It doesn't bother me, and a lot of people like keep telling me, you think it will wear the hell out of your starter? And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I've only owned this vehicle for 2 months, but I don't know what could happen down the road, but I'm under a warranty, so I really don't have to worry. But for like, there's got to be something in here that prevents the starter from burning out, because if it shuts on and off all that often, you know what I mean, like when you're in the city and stuff, you would think that there would be some sort of feature with it that obviously before they would launch a vehicle like this or any other vehicle with this feature, that they would basically say, you know, we got to do some testing or put some sort of mechanism in this vehicle to allow that starter to not go. So there's probably some sort of mechanism in here that basically allows me to not have to worry about that. But I was able to successfully find a kitty litter box from Walmart too. You probably see that thing in the back. I'm trying to point as best as I can, but again, my eyes are on the road. I have successfully found a kitty litter box for Miss Tinkerbell, so we'll see how she likes it. It's kind of one of those, I guess it was like a $35 litter box. Right now she's using one area to go to the bathroom in, but she's had this same litter box for a long time, and every so often my mom and I, and especially me, I like to switch them out, because I feel like over time they just get old and grungy, even if you clean them out and, you know, changes the litter and everything. So we're gonna do that. When Sam died, we definitely got rid of his box right away. Like anything big of his, like, it's out of the house, otherwise it gives us too much memory. There's still that one couch we have to get out yet, but once that's out, then my mom and I can shampoo the carpets for the first time in forever, and then move some stuff around. So I guess we'll go from there. But I guess I'm really not that interesting of a person. I mean, I have my opinions, I do certain things, and this is kind of a typical what Maddie does on her days off. I'm gonna have to boil down a lot of this footage because I've probably already got at least an hour's worth of footage, and I don't know if I want to make an hour vlog. I don't even know. Probably no more than an hour, because I feel like if I go on way too much, like, it's gonna get boring. But I also want to show enough to show you that, like, hey, I'm very, very boring. So, you know, that's how it is. So this is the highway that I take to go home from work every single day. Like, we weren't super, I mean, we were close to my work, but we weren't like super close. But you got an idea of like travel time for me as far as like how far do I go to work and how far do I take to go to work. It's from where I was today at the closest point to my work, it was even another 10 minutes to my job, or about 5 minutes, I guess, by highway. So I drive approximately 25 to 30 minutes every single day to work on the same highway, all the way back, all the way forth. And it gets to be a chaotic mess, especially this time of the day, because it's now 5 o'clock on a Friday. Anybody who works 9 to 5, I'm going to be having fun with the traffic pretty soon here, but I think I would have gotten on the road just beforehand. But it gets to be kind of like from 3 or 4 o'clock here all the way through like 7 or 8. It gets to be kind of like heavy traffic here. In the morning it's heavy, but I feel like I don't get a lot of the heavier morning traffic because I go into work earlier. Like, I leave my house at 7. I feel like if I was to leave my house at 8 to go into work for like 9 versus leaving my house at 7 and going to work for 8, that it would be a little bit different. Like, I feel like I would run into more of the typical 9 to 5 traffic versus not. So so right now it says I'm getting 39.8 miles to the gallon, which makes sense. And another funny story about me is with my old car, I never used cruise control because I was scared it was going to break. Funny thing is, I've only used cruise control once in this car, and I probably should start using it more, but I have a pretty steady foot. And I've been able to prove that with myself by having a digital speedometer like this and being able to see exactly what my speed is. So I'm maintaining 75 miles per hour right now, and it hasn't changed from 75 and probably since I got up to that speed. Every so often I'll see it go from like 75 to 77, or maybe I'll take down to 74, but I'm not going from 75 down to 70, down to 65, up back to 75. I don't have a sporadic braking gas style. I have a pretty steady foot that I'm able to hold everything. So, and I can also tell that beyond just by the miles per hour on my gauge, it gives you, like I said, the miles per gallon. I have running my car in economy mode, so basically gives it the best gas mileage as possible. And when you keep a steady and consistent speed on the highway, especially, that MPG number doesn't fluctuate. So it'll fluctuate maybe by like 5 miles to the gallon either direction, but if it starts fluctuating like 10 or more, or I can't even read it and it goes dash dash dash, it probably means that you're fluctuating your speed a lot, that I can't get an accurate reading as to how many miles per gallon you're probably getting driving. So right now I backed my speed down a little more because we're kind of in a bundle up thing. Once you get past, in my neck of the woods, once you get past the big city that I was just in, it goes down to 2 lanes versus 4 or 5, and it's kind of like I have to fight going 2 lanes the whole way home. Like yesterday I had this person that just sat in the left lane and he was doing like 60, and all of us were getting really mad, so we ended up having to go into the right lane to get around him when, you know, most of the speed of traffic's gonna go 70 plus on a 70-mile-an-hour highway in good weather. You just have to go with the speed of traffic, but if you're slow, don't sit in the left lane. So right now where I'm driving, coming up pretty close. Once I hit the spot, I'll tell you exactly where. So right about here is where I got in my car accident, but on the opposite side of the highway, there's a bridge here. And then there's a second bridge up over here. And like I said, I go past this every single day. Sometimes I still like, at least through the first 3 days, I was shaking to go past this area because I'm like, I can't do this type of stuff. but I know other alternative work routes to work, so it should work out pretty good, and that if I need to use any alternative work routes, I can. So I'm about 10 minutes from home, so I think I'm gonna stop this video because I feel like there's nothing more I can really talk about until I get home and actually do some other things. So hey y'all, I am back home. It was kind of a pretty good drive home. I can't complain about it. So I'm just sitting on my floor figuring out what I'm gonna do next. Here I've got a pile full of things on my floor over here that I have to put away, like some pump supplies. Like I need to set up little baggies again because I do the little baggies that like are reusable. I think I showed you that in my last like day in the life of a dental hygienist video. I do those and I put those together. But if any of you are looking for a really nice Mother's Day card, this is what I got my mother, and it says, "Mom, your love is a powerful gift." And then you open it and you pull it up and it locks into this flower thing, and it basically says, "How could I put into words all that your love means to me? I can't. All that I can do is love you back with all my heart. Happy Mother's Day." And I'm like, I have to get her this because butterflies and flowers, okay? Like butterflies and flowers. And then it kind of pops back down like this. So that's what I ended up getting her for a card, and I'm like, this is just perfect. So I'm probably gonna go through all the things I talked about in the car, like what I actually am going to be doing, like balancing my checkbook. I need to go through another list of things. I may need to enroll in some CE credits for hygiene so I can keep my license. That basically, you have 2 years to get X amount of CEs, and I only need 9 more out of my 12, so I'm not too bad, and I have way over a year yet to do it. So, but I'd rather get them done right away just so that they're off of my back. I need to put all my Dexcom supplies away, as well as at some point set up Tinkerbell's kitty litter box. So I'm going to end the vlog here because there's not much more else I'll do. I'm a pretty ordinary, boring person. I'll probably just take a shower. I'm full from dinner yet, but as always, I'll promise I'll put a 24-hour graph in here. You've been with me for approximately 9 hours of my day, so it's pretty close to a typical of what Maddie does when she doesn't work on Fridays. This was a little more laid back. Usually I would sit and clean my house and do a whole bunch more things, but I decided not to do that today. Maybe I'll save that for tomorrow. And it would be pretty boring for you to sit and watch me clean a house. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. Feel free to hit that subscribe button. I post as often as I can about type 1 diabetes plus more. Please stay tuned. I'm going to be doing some more diabetes related videos as well as some more dental hygiene videos. And hopefully you guys give me some ideas or something, maybe new ideas, or if you want repeat ideas or repeat kind of series as to what you want me to do to celebrate 3K, because you have no idea how grateful I am to have each and every single one of you in my life. So continue to stay tuned as things go forward here, and I thank you for your love and support as always. So with that being said, until next time for another video, take care, God bless, be kind, spread positivity, and be thankful. And I love you all so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye everyone.